I want to just thank everybody who's voted for our group. This is an immense honor to get to be here and be doing this. My name is Dr. Jonathan Merrill. I'm a pediatrician working at the Children's Hospital in Indianapolis. And this is the rest of our group here, Compact Medical Solutions. The story I told you during the first pitch is true. That really did happen. A coworker of mine really did complain about something that she's heard from multiple physicians, just simply that doctors' tools and equipment is just too big and bulky to carry with us when we're out and about. Let me tell you another story. A couple months ago, I was talking with another coworker, another pediatrician, and she told me about something that happened just in December when she was driving. There was an accident on the side of the road. She was one of the first people there, so she got out and went to go help. Unfortunately, the gentleman was a motorcyclist and got in an accident, and he was not breathing well on his own. And had she had something like this with her in her car even, or in her purse, it's possible she could have used this for minutes before the ambulance arrived at the scene. So these sorts of situations do come up. And in the interviews that we've had with other physicians up to this point, we've had very positive feedback about the utility of this invention. I just wanted to tell you a little bit more about the product itself and how it works. So the Butterfly BVM is so compact because we've taken the bag component and the mask component of the device, which are the two largest parts of the bag valve mask, and we've made them out of a bilayer of material, of an ultra-thin plastic. And the idea is that bilayer can then be shrunk down, it can be deflated and then stored or inflated when it's needed to be used. We estimate that this could be prepared in about 15 seconds at the arrival of an accident. So it's very compact, but it should be able to deliver a really be very effective at the scene there. A couple other bonuses on it. If you can't remember the number of compressions to breaths, we've printed that on the side of the device for you. We also have an area here for a pop-off valve. So if you're bagging too hard and you're putting too much pressure into a patient's lungs, the pop-off valve will be there to help protect their lungs. And this is important for adults, and particularly for my population, for pediatrics, the children, and the newborn babies. I'd love to tell you more about it. Looking forward to questions. Thank you.
We should think about getting a medical professional up here one year that can help us navigate this. I see part of a prototype there.
Yes.
Do you have any of the other stuff that would be shrunk down and we could see? Or
not currently. I really wish we did. It largely came down to finances. That will be a more expensive part of the prototype to make, because we're going to have to get specific molds, and that will take a little bit of tailoring.
And we're selling.
So you don't have a bag yet, then, I guess.
I'm sorry.
You don't have the bag portion yet, I guess.
I do have a bag, but not on our prototype. On it, this is what a normal neonatal size bag valve mask is.
Right.
So our product will be considerably smaller and more compact.
And you're selling to, I assume, hospitals directly?
So we're selling to hospitals. We're selling to anybody who has received advanced life support training. This is not for people who have, if you've done a CPR class, I'm sorry, but you're not the people we'll be marketing to, because this is a highly technical piece of equipment, and the American Heart Association has emphasized for people who do not have advanced life support training to really just do compression-only CPR. But if you have done ACLS, NRP, or PALS training, then you have received enough training to use a bag valve mask, and those are the people who we would be marketing to.
So what type of approvals do you have to have for this?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Does this require FDA approvals?
Yes, it would. This would be a Class 2 device, is our expectation. It's not an implantable device. It's not what would typically be a Class 3. So we're estimating it should take about 6 months to get FDA approval, which is pretty much the typical for a Class 2.
Do you have a prototype on the other part of it already?
We do not. No, the bag and the mask, we do not have that yet, no.
Okay. So is your goal for the big sale to be a winner so that you can go to be able to?
Honestly, yes, that is exactly our goal. Yep.
How many you think you can sell a year? I mean, walk me through. So you've told me who your audience is. What's the population there?
Right. Okay. So the numbers I gave you at the beginning in the first pitch give you an idea of it. I said about 40,000 ER physicians, 240,000 EMTs or medics, 120,000 respiratory therapists. That is a part of the market, but that's not all. Just to give you an idea of one subset of the market, if you just take medical students alone, okay, in 2015, there were 18,000 medical students who graduated in the United States. it is a standard for medical students before graduation that they be ACLS certified, okay, so that they have training to use something like a bag valve mask. So just that is one tiny part of the market. Just the new doctors being made, that's about 18,000 a year, and not necessarily every one of them would run out to buy one of these, but if we can keep the price down to where it's cheap enough, I could see these things selling like hotcakes. People want to put one in their car, put one in their purse, one in their pocket, those kinds of things.
Are they reusable or disposable? Sorry.
So we would market them to be disposable, mainly because this is, I mean, the odds that any one person would use one of these is low. But when you take the risk across an entire country, it will happen. But so in the incident that if you had one and you actually used it, we'd recommend just going ahead and throwing it away and getting another one. Mostly just for hygiene purposes. But we do want to make the bag and the mask something that you can inflate and that you can deflate multiple times. And that's critical because it's important that people who have this be regularly refreshing their skills so that they can really do it in 15 seconds when they need to. If you haven't used this thing in 3 years and you've never inflated it in 3 years, you're going to have a hard time really getting it out and being ready with it in a timely fashion.
Have you evaluated the risk profile of product liability of using this kind of product?
We're aware that there will be a risk. We don't have solid estimates on exactly what it will cost to kind of insure and protect that. I think a lot of those things will kind of fall out as we go through the FDA approval process. But that is certainly that is going to be a risk associated with this product.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.